Good morning, guys. Steven back with another Bitcoin analysis video here, in keeping with this week's theme. Today, I want to talk about a major inflection point we're at and a potential GTFO sell signal here, right? So this is the Bitcoin NASDAQ ratio chart. I chart this a lot. It's very interesting to me. It sort of plots the relative strength of Bitcoin versus the sort of next in line comparable risk asset, which is the NASDAQ. Gives you an idea of where you want your money if you're going to be in risk, and also can be sort of like a leading indicator of things to come in the market, because Bitcoin can be a bit of a fire alarm right now. Well, not just right now, but always. So if we take a look at this chart, there's a pretty obvious, very high time frame range we have here, which is basically the peak of the 2021 bull market to the bottom, post FTX crash max capitulation, right? Now, this chart looks fairly worrisome, I would say, because you have this, it looks like a pretty clear sort of deviation above range highs. When we have that and there's a failure to close above a range, we typically expect price to return to the mid-range. And this would be pretty nasty, because this would basically mark a 25% or so pullback in Bitcoin to the mid-range. And if, God forbid, we go towards range lows, 50%, but let's not put that out there in the universe right now. Now, as ugly as this looks, there is some hope in this chart, because there's this pretty bullish weekly pin bar candle, like right here. You can see that candle right over here. So I do think there's a chance that we could put in a bottom here because of this candle. And I think because of this, and because of how close we are to an invalidation, it makes sense to be long here. It makes sense to be long, kind of confluent with some of the other stuff I've been talking about in videos this week and last week, with the range high, yearly VWAP, 100K support. There's like a whole lot of reasons to be closing your eyes and longing here. But I think you have to do so with like very open eyes and a very clear backup plan, because I think if this candle is lost and invalidated, we're going to go down a lot, like very quickly, right? And keep in mind, this is a ratio to the NASDAQ, right? So this may very well foretell a sell-off in stocks, right? So we could have a 25% drawdown in Bitcoin versus the NASDAQ, but if the NASDAQ pulls back 5 or 10 or 15%, that's going to be like way more than 25% in Bitcoin, right? So I'm still long here, still hoping for the best, but I do think this is sketchy. We are on either the brink of greatness or the brink of disaster. But like I say, sometimes it's not necessarily about predicting, will it go up, will it go down? It's about how much am I going to make when it goes up versus how much am I going to lose when it goes down. I do think that risk reward is pretty skewed here, but caution is very, very warranted. So if you want to check this chart out, you can simply go to TradingView, take any Bitcoin pair, divide it by NQ. You can get that Bitcoin NASDAQ ratio. Maybe set yourself a little alert for when this level is lost. If that level is lost, it is probably a sign that you should pull back on the risk, move into some cash, maybe start playing a little more defensively. All right, thanks guys. Appreciate you watching the video. As always, be sure to like, subscribe, check out the free Discord in the description. I will see you guys next time.